Hey everybody, welcome to Picture Day Podcast. I'm Eddie Furth. Sitting next to me is our co-host, Kim McVicar. Check out her special female comedian everywhere but Netflix. And joining us today, one of my favorite people in the world, Julia Austin. Make sure you check out my favorite TV show on the internet. Julia, what's the title of it? Julia Goes Shopping at Ross.
I guess it doesn't really have a title. I just make videos where I dance and shop in Ross changing rooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Where can I watch this?
They're on my Instagram and my YouTube.
Love it. So you go to Ross Dress for Less and you just have fun in the dressing room?
Yeah, I have like different themes each time.
Nice.
Like shopping for, like a vacation wardrobe or summer dresses or workout clothes.
But that's a project because Ross is so hard to shop in.
No, it's the best place in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay. I stink at that place. It's too much everywhere. Like I need things more organized.
No, if you want to find a dollar for a dress for $1, you're gonna have to hunt. It's not gonna be well organized.
And that's where I quit. I'm like, I'm not hunting.
But
I also just wear t-shirts. Like, what does it matter?
I've told you that for years, though. There these little commentaries, the way you stitch them together, and you just these running commentaries of, I would wear this to brunch if I was getting divorced, and I'm kind of feeling sassy, but not really, and I'm not sure. The way it highlights your voice so wonderfully. My favorite TV show on the internet. I was so glad when you brought them back. Immediately I messaged you. I was like, oh my God, we got picked up again.
You're the one fan. They perform not well. They don't.
It's about them hashtags. What are you hashtagging?
I'm hashtagging.
But what?
All kinds of stuff.
It matters. Hashtags matter.
I hashtag and I tag Ross Dress for Less, and they haven't gotten back to me.
They're mad.
They will. Look, we always know it doesn't do well, and then it does, and it's about they'll get back.
It's consistency too, and that's where I fail. You're supposed to post every day at the same time. I suck at that.
Oh. Every day at the same time.
Yeah,
do you know what?
that.
I don't know if you want to talk about this much, but I was like, I've tried to follow all the things, all the advice or whatever, and then I'll just post something randomly at 7 p.m. on
That's
a
a good
Sunday
time, actually.
because I feel like it. Is that true?
Yeah, late night is better for California.
Really?
Yeah, everyone posts too early in the morning. You're supposed to whenever I post a comedy specifically, if I post something after 6 p.m., it does way better. And I think it's because people want to watch darker stuff later in the day.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if that's right.
But I don't post like a lot of stand-up stuff or dark stuff. My Instagram's like pretty
Fun.
like mousy and silly. Mm-hmm. Like, and a lot of just like straight to camera and made for IG stuff.
Oh, great.
And people say like that stuff I think should be like 8 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever. But what I'm saying is I'll break all the rules and then that video will get 3 million views. You know what I mean? And I'm like, if people relate to it, they relate to it whatever time it is. And if they don't,
comments
they
and
don't.
shares. If someone comments on it, it's whatever happens in that first hour. If someone comments on it in the first hour, it's going to do better. If somebody else shares it in the first hour, that's up. We should all just comment on each other's shit.
Yeah.
Fuck the algorithm.
It's true. I'm the worst because I'll also be going through and I'll be like, oh, that's great. I love that. And then I don't hit like. I'm like, Julia, go back and hit like for them. Don't just say to yourself, I love that.
It's hard. I know.
There is a way I could express that I like this, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's weird that that's even something we deal with.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Somebody once made it a positive to me, and I'm trying to think about it that way.
Which part?
I think it was Mike. He said, so the gatekeepers used to, for comedy, be a network or a person, and then that's the only way you could make it. Now we have our own ability, and it is Instagram and YouTube. Mm-hmm. And as much as now it's this algorithm, at least you have control over that. So there is like a little bit more that you can get what you want as long as you do it, which is the hardest. I think doing it is the hardest part.
I don't think it's good for
your soul.
I don't think it's good for the future of comedy and what audiences think comedy can be, though.
I agree 100% because what they think they're coming to is whatever they see online, and you can't post real jokes online because they're inappropriate or because you don't want to burn your material. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm more talking about the fact that just like basically nothing is more powerful than having a huge following now.
Right.
And if you have a huge following, you can just start like selling out.
For sure. Oh, before you're even good.
Yeah. And but like people come and they are happy because maybe you are what they know you as online. So like they're satisfied. But then what happens to all the people who slip through the cracks that are like so amazing that we all know?
But there always has been that too, right? Because there are but I agree with you 100%. I don't know.
There's a rise in the super successful mediocre comedian.
Correct. Vanilla. Yeah.
And I think that like in general, audiences will be receiving
shittier
lower
comedy.
quality stand up, and they won't even know it. Like we don't, because if they never experienced higher quality stand up, like how would they know? It's kind of like we go to Olive Garden and all we know is Olive Garden, and we're like, this is great Italian food, and then one day you go to Italy, you're like, oh, that wasn't very good actually.
Oh, that bread was shit.
Yeah, like they won't ever know. Maybe
What are your thoughts on this?
Look, I come from a different angle, only in that first, like, I'm very hippy dippy with like make stuff to make it, like your videos to camera. To me, I've never even looked at how many views they are. I'm just watching that TV show as a part of my feed, going, oh yeah, this is what I like to watch. And when I make stuff, like I posted a video the other day. It was my birthday, and I don't celebrate birthdays, but it was my 40th, so I wrote myself, thank you,
It was the 15th.
a letter to
the same as
myself
my
in the
husband's.
future.
Oh,
so
nice.
my 39, 364-day-year-old self wrote a letter to my 40-year-old self, literally like the next day kind of thing. And I read it to camera, and I was like, this is a 6-minute video. This isn't going to get traction, but this is my art piece. This is the thing that I made today. Whether they like it or not, it's what I've got. Yeah. And whenever it resonates, however, I'm very hippy-dippy on the side of like, I know how I could play by the rules, but also I'm trying to both play by the rules and fit this thing to make it get seen, but also do my art the way I want.
100%.
So my thing is like, we have these tools to build the audience as we see fit and find a way to connect, because
and I think there's a market for everybody too.
Yes. And there are people in times when things get followings or connect, because I'm the person where it's like, if it connects with people, if you can figure out a way to sell tickets and get people in, that was the trick the whole time. Mm-hmm. And whether we know there are, as connoisseurs, maybe a finer product available, part of the trick is also getting people to show up. And so part of being good is connecting with an audience in a way to get them to come out. That is another
But there's also that stamp of
it.
approval that if like certain famous people stamp you, then you automatically get a little more fame.
And if you can't if the movie isn't good, eventually people will stop watching it. But if it's good, they'll keep going. But if
shitty movies make, like, well, let's take Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I know there are people who love it, right?
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea, but it's on Fast and Furious like 58 or whatever it's on, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that means that like
less fast and not so
from
furious.
From my perspective, it's like not great, right?
Yeah.
But there's still people going out, so somebody likes it.
Well,
they could be watching a better action movie and they don't know that there's better action movies. To your point, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
We know. We
also get to see the best comedians.
We get to see the best. So we have said.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not saying that. I don't think audiences would continue to show up for straight up bad comedy.
No, middle ground.
I'm just saying that the median for like what you might be finding at shows could become lower over time than it has historically, because it's the masses dictating who the place books.
Yeah, because it's what sells tickets.
And they don't have exposure to like the really highly curated like lineups that we see when we just like go to the store on a Monday at like midnight or something.
Or go to the lab.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, that's all I'm saying.
So guys, if you're on the internet and you want to see good comedy, go to the lab or go to what is it called? The store, but which room? Upstairs, right?
Any other
the OR
rooms.
has
but most of them are famous people there
I think
too,
the belly room
right?
is always one of those rooms that has.
Try to ask around and make sure it's not a bringer show, and then just don't
That's
go to that.
true, too.
That's it. Just go, because I feel like I do feel some poor people like stop by the store and they're like, I don't understand. It was everyone's first week in
Does
comedy.
the store do bringer shows still? Probably.
Absolutely.
But the Improv, do they? It's probably up to who's ever producing it. Right?
Yeah, that I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess to some degree, I'm lucky that I haven't been asked to do one in a long time. So maybe I'm out of touch with who's doing them or where they're happening. Too.
I think of us also as connoisseurs. Like, we're people who can tell you what region the wine is from just by smelling it, and what grape and what the sun was like. And everyone else is like, cool, I just want to get drunk. Is that an option? And so like, get me drunk. And we're like, no, you don't understand. There's flavors, then there's notes and textures, and we're seeing the things that people who are buying it don't even know that they would or wouldn't be looking for. So we're hypersensitive to the connoisseur nature of it, while trying to then give it to somebody who would never see or hear the thing we're trying to tell them about it.
Totally, yeah. It doesn't mean like to say someone's an alt comic or a road comic or an industry comic or any of that. Like that doesn't mean anything to the average consumer on TikTok or anything. They're like, I don't know, are they funny? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Do I want to meet them in person? Do they have a cool life?
Do they wear cheetah print jackets that are neon?
Is this an outfit that we found at Ross?
No, it just does well on TikTok, I think.
Well, now we know it's the outfits. You got to change your outfit choices.
I know that my social media would do so much better if I would just like choose a really eccentric look that I committed to. Like whether it's like the space buns on top of the head or dyeing half my hair green.
Or just showing your abs more.
Or just like, I don't have those.
I'm kidding.
But
that's half of it. It's like just look naked.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is asking that from me.
When are you just gonna wear a suit jacket?
But are you telling me? You think I don't understand an eccentric look?
Oh, but you're doing good. You know, but
Just a suit jacket. You got to wear just the jacket.
No, but yours.
That'll be my fourth special, Eddie Furth in a t-shirt.
Your look is timeless though. You have a sophisticated style.
Thank you.
It's not. I'm talking about people that are out there. It's like they weigh 100 pounds. They wear a quadruple X, metallic. Cheetah print puff jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fake eyelashes that are yellow. Like, it's just like not a way you'd wear.
Let's do a show let's do a stand-up show called, I don't know what the fuck you guys want to call it, but weird shit. And we all just wear weird shit.
Comedians in costumes.
Yeah. Peacocking. We'll call it peacocking.
Yeah.
It is peacocking. That's exactly what it would be.
Yeah. We'll call
I
it the
came from
peacocking
theater, so I always think of it as costumes. Like the minute you're on a stage, so I will, and obviously I'm biased because I have a specific style, but I'll watch a comedian and I'll be like, oh, you haven't figured out your costume yet. You don't know like everyone has a signature jacket or a signature look. Like that's, but I also find that as a function of age.
What do you think is my look? I'm so interested because I genuinely just wear, like, for example, I'm wearing Birkenstocks today purely because I think I have to have foot surgery again. And I went and was like, what are the most comfortable fucking shoes I can put on my feet?
Think you have to have
I'd have to go back.
Or you do? I was like,
I'm trying not to, is what it is. I don't want to be not walking again for a while. I hate that. I did that already once. I don't want to do it again. But
I mean, I think that you're rocking your signature look right now. And this is kind of my signature look.
Yeah, it's just a t-shirt and jeans, and I'll throw on a jacket if I'm cold.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be better, but it's hard.
We're adults in the way of like our whole personality is what jacket we leave when we wear the house. And we have that signature jacket or the signature item. I have a friend, she always wears like an oversized beanie. And it doesn't matter what she's doing, whether she's managing or supervising or she's at work or she's in a meeting, she's always got the hat on, and that's how you know she's like that. It's her hat. Like she's got 3 or 4 different colors for different outfits.
This conversation is making my body boil a little. No. I'm literally like, because I am, I don't know if it's female or stubborn, where I want to be like, but if I want to wear a dress, I can wear a dress. Like, if I want to feel pretty that day, I will.
Not on stage.
I know.
I mean,
I've done shows where you can, and it is a difficult thing. I do, yeah.
I just say, like, my feeling
I put a hoodie over a gown before, though, for a stand-up show.
A hoodie over a gown?
You had to wear a gown, and I was like, great, I'll throw a hoodie on so people still think I'm funny.
I like that. That's
you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm in the gown, but I want people to listen to my joke.
I love that.
I just don't like it when people don't listen to jokes.
Yeah, no, that's always like, I always say, like, we can operate in the way that we wish the world was, or we can operate with being realistic about the way the world is, where I could be like, I am going to wear a short dress on stage because the world should be in a way where I'm not objectified and it's not distracting. And I can do that till I am blue in the face. Or I can recognize that my sets go better when I dress like this.
Right. I just also bend my knees too much and move my legs. And I'm like, I got to move.
Yeah,
it's
you
function
move
over.
a lot. Yeah.
That's the other thing with the not broken. There's shit on my foot they got to take out. But whenever I have foot surgery and I do stand up, whenever I've done it one other time, I found that my writing got better because I wasn't allowed to be energetic and I just was on crutches for so long. But I sit in the stool and be like, okay, this is where we see if these jokes actually have legs. Like,
so interesting.
Because you don't have you
don't have actual legs, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I love that approach, Julie, because that was kind of like what I think about how I post is like I can try to meet the world where they are or do it the way I want to do it. And my idea for me is always like I want to just kind of meet in the middle. I don't want to give up my whole artistic perspective on it, but I understand this is what's working. So how do I take TikTok and make something that I think I would make on TikTok, not what.
Yeah.
So I throw my suit on the bed and then I flash and I put it on, or I make a 6-minute video where I am talking to camera because that's my these are all our TV shows. That's my TV show for this week. It's my special for this week.
I very rarely post things that are like real to me, like really true to me. And whenever I do, those do really well. And I'm always like, I don't want to tell the world.
I don't be
I
vulnerable.
get really
No.
pissed about it.
Anything but vulnerability.
I posted a photo of my mom and just like how much she means to me, and everyone was like, ah, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that is not
People
on
know
brand
I
for
have
you.
a soul. I love my mom's my favorite person.
I
in the
know, I
world.
know.
Yeah.
Where did you start performing? When did you? Was this something that was that you started in school? Was it something you found after? Where did you first move into that space?
It was like 6 months after graduating college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, all of school, you didn't know you wanted to do comedy.
Not stand up, though. It feels like obvious now because I did always love to make people laugh, and I started by making these YouTube videos that were so bad and embarrassing, and I've since taken them down. However, some of them reached millions of views and gained me my first 1,000 followers. Like,
what grade are you in when you do these videos? Or is this
I'm in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like junior, senior in college, and they're all like dating and sex related and just like silly. I thought I wanted to build like a brand around being a writer in like the dating and sex space. So I was making these funny videos. I don't even remember what they were about, but they were like, you know, like one of them was like 10 signs she's horny or whatever. And of course that got millions of views. But it was silly where I'm just like doing these ridiculous things, like try to get my partner's attention who doesn't care about sex or whatever. Like, you know, just absurd things. And then I was bored in my writing job, you know, which I still have, which is a from home job, which is lonely. And like somehow the newsletter I subscribed to for writing gigs leave this to a bringer producer to just cast their net as wide as possible. Someone who produced a bringer show at the Comedy Store weaseled their way into this newsletter for writing jobs to like be like, if you can get 10 people out, you can go on the main stage at the Comedy Store, whatever. And I felt like it was a sign because I was like kind of depressed in my job and like didn't know.
Oh, that's how you started?
As that I saw that ad and I thought it was like, oh, this was meant to come my way. And I mean, hey, I guess it was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was like now. I was like, no, not now. But
No, that was 12 years ago. But I think they might still be. Bringers producers will find any way to be like, would you like to do this? Would you?
I did a bringer show in New York by mistake. Like I didn't know it was a bringer show. And then like the day before, they were like, just so you guys know, this many tickets. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had a lot of people come to see me, but it was just like because I have a decent audience in that area. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Like it was weird to do a bringer show, but it not be, I don't know, like it'd be, I don't want to use the word fans, but like real people coming and then being like, oh crap, I made a mistake.
Well,
but it was fun. It was a great show.
I had no idea what I was getting myself. I thought that I had made an incredible choice and was.
This was at the store, or where was
the store? Yeah.
I did a show at the store when I very first started comedy, probably about 12 years ago as well. It was an open mic night. I was dating this guy. We were living together, but I was going to break up with him that day, and that is why I went and did stand up. So I went to do stand up. I was a first year stand up comedian. And then whoever was hosting, it was like the potluck night or whatever. Yeah. He was trying to hit on me because I was wearing tank tops and I was a 20-year-old and I was fit and all the things. And he like from the stage yelled something like, "Are you single?" Like trying to get a laugh. And I was like, "I will be. I'm going home to break up with him right now." And I left and broke up with that guy.
That's funny.
And it was just a weird. Is that what comedy is? Like just a weird thing.
Can I just say how much I am jealous of you that you don't know what's going on at the Comedy Store? Like the fact that she doesn't know the names of the rooms, and then she's like, "What is it? The potluck night or whatever?"
I
do. Well, I'm like, "Please book me Comedy Store. Hello, potluck. It's me for the 9 millionth time. Please."
How many emails? How many nights do I have to show up just to be around to show you that I'll be here next week?
I know the rooms. I just forget.
Kim's
names
like,
are really hard for me. No, but those are really hard for me associating names to anything, like movies, people, all of that's very difficult. And I think the longer I've been in stand-up, the less I care about that shit. And it's more about me just getting up and figuring out a new hour. That's all I ever do. I'm like, well, what's this next hour?
Yeah.
That's it.
You're able to already like tour and basically do it. So
No, I don't know. I think we're exactly in the same
filming
position.
your specials and stuff.
We're in the same position for sure.
Yeah.
I do not have a comedy dynamic special.
But
or two?
You totally could.
Is it 2?
No, it's 3. But
It's
you
3?
could. You could. I totally an asshole. You're hilarious.
That's some shit you'd expect me to have said, right? No. It was 6 episodes. But who's counting? Who's counting?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This new one's out right now on Amazon Prime. No, I'm
Look, because
kidding.
the other side of it, we're all very similar as artistic expressions in places in our careers where we have done some things in certain ways and we maintain and establish, because there's plenty of people, like when you tell the story about doing that bringer show and then deciding like it was meant to be, there are people who do those moments and then decide it's not for them to move out. The entry point for whoever is going to ultimately stick around and be in the business is different for everybody, and acceptable in every way, because at some point you entered it and you could have walked away and said never again, but that was just your weird entry point in. The first shows I ever did were at a winery in Stamford, Connecticut, because I was doing community
perfect.
theater
Love
with
that.
somebody
Makes
who
sense.
did
This is where your
stand-up
character built
in
from.
Connecticut. And I was like writing jokes for him. And one day I was like, wait a minute. I can perform on stage and I'm writing jokes for you. Maybe I could do the 2 things together. How would I do that, Mondo? And he was like, let's just start doing it.
Mondo.
Mondo's a great name.
Big Puerto Rican guy, like twice my age. I was 25. He's like 40. And he set up these whole nights where we did it at this little wine bar in Stamford, but it was designed to help get me involved in comedy. The very first night I did stand-up, I made $40. I haven't made $40 doing stand-up since then.
Get it.
Amazing.
But the entry point is, it never matters what it is, because that was just your way to get in, and now you're in the space flourishing and making
I also think that
incredible
people,
stuff.
The reason that I try not to pay attention to things now is because I have caught myself not getting frustrated, but like what you consider a win. What's something you want to do more of, right? And then being like, oh, that person's got that and I didn't. Oh, like that kind of thing. So I've just totally been like, I'm not paying attention to shit. I'm just gonna have fun.
It's so true.
And then once you have fun, things are better, I think.
That's everything always comes
But it's
back
hard.
to not overthinking it and not focusing on results and just keep having fun. I do feel like you talked about the entry point and you decided to walk away or stay. I feel like I know I contemplate walking or staying like every 3 to 4 years. I just hit like
I definitely have.
I hit like a place. It's like a cycle for
I did
me.
it this year. My husband was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Should I just quit? He's like, what would you do? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, from the outside, people would be like, what are you talking about? You have 3 comedy dynamic
It's so
specials.
stupid. It's stupid. Yeah,
and this and
exactly.
that. But then
exactly.
you internally,
You're like,
where
but it's not
you
this one, and it's not that
want it
thing,
to
and it's
be.
yeah, exactly.
But it always does wind up back at like, oh, screw it. I should just take it one day at a time, do
Yeah.
things I'm proud of. Like
Have fun.
each day, that's all you can do. You don't get happy with the overthinking. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, a lot of people, I feel like you see a drop off. Like I feel like there's milestones when people tend to quit, like 3 years. I feel like a lot of
3,
people quit
6.
at 3. Yep, like 6 or 7, 10 for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people in their
They're
minds,
supposed to make it by 10,
they're like, I should have made it by 10. Whereas
or
I'm
they
more,
stay and they're really bitchy about it. Those are the ones I don't like
That's so true.
because they can stop that.
My mindset has changed. Like I started to realize, like, oh, when people talk about 10 years, I think it literally just takes 10 years to create a solid comedian
And figure
to
out
turn
what you are.
into a marketable product who's eligible for cool opportunities. That's only when you become eligible
Yes, I agree
for
with
the
that.
cool stuff. And then you might have like
Another
literally
5 or 10 to figure it out.
years of things that you keep auditioning for that are almost, or 2 rounds of this, or they have you back and it's this close and that close. And like that can go on for years. And I feel like there's so many comics recently who I assumed had already done a million this or that taping for this company. And I'm seeing like, oh my gosh, I finally got into audition for this thing after 16 years into comedy. And I'm like, you never know what's going on, because I thought they already did that.
But that's because of Instagram and because of Facebook. Like, do you know what I mean? Because people are only posting their positive things.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's part of it too, is to look good and all what you need to do. But yeah, what a fun world. I do think that this community in LA is the best though. Like this stand-up community, it's so nice.
The community itself.
I really like it.
I haven't
Like,
experienced the other ones, so I wouldn't know.
but I mean, like, just the way people take care of each other that have been in the bit, like for the open mics, I still go. We all go to open mics. I love fucking open mics, and that community of people is still. There's shitty people everywhere, but they're still really there for each other. For those who've been in the open mic scene for so long.
Oh yeah,
It's so nice. I love that.
I do love how much the scene you feel like embraced after 10 years and up, and it feels earned. Like going to mics, and in your first few years you go to a mic and between no one and one person there. And now you walk in and it's a hang, and it's like your friends.
And they pay attention to you because they know you. And I think a lot of people don't get laughs in the beginning because no one's listening. Just because you have to earn someone's respect to pay attention, which is a little shitty, but it's also fun.
No, but there is like such a compounding effect of what you get out of open mics because it is in the beginning. There's a combination of you're probably not good just because you're new. Nobody's good when they're new, generally speaking. And people tune out because you're sitting in a room with like people 12 years in and they're tired and they kind of only have the capacity to listen to so much stand-up. So it's not personal, but they're probably more likely just going to tune in when they're 3 or 4 friends who they're curious what they're writing right now, take the stage, you know? So you don't benefit from any of that when you're a year in, and then fast forward, and then your friends are paying attention and you trust their taste because they've been doing it for a while, and they're able to like understand the potential in your jokes because they've been doing it for a while, and they kind of know what your voice is. You get like this much out of mics in the beginning. Like you should do them. You should do a bajillion of them.
You have to.
But then it's like what you get grows out of them.
But the opposite side of that, because I 100% agree with that, it's when the people get angry that they get nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Like the comics who've been doing it for 10 years and like, that's fucking funny. And it was like, well, no one laughed. Like, don't get mad at that.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never gotten angry. Though I did tell Nick, my husband, who's also a comic, I know you guys know that.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. That I like turned a corner recently where like, a few years ago, I hit this point where I was like taking radical accountability in stand-up. And I was like, anytime a set doesn't go my way, I'm just going to walk away and assess what could I have done differently? What can I do next different? Do not think about any of the conditions in the room that were out of your control. Like just focus on what you can do better next time. Always take responsibility.
Okay.
And I was like obsessed with that perspective for years, which was important. But then like I solidified that in such a way that I'm comfortable with that now sometimes I do recognize there are elements where I'm not to say like I'll always bomb in this environment, but I'll always do better in this one versus this one, right?
Oh, for sure. I can't do a wine place.
Yeah.
Anytime someone pays me to do a wine place, I'm like, okay, but I'm going to fucking lose. Like they are going to hate me. Put me up first.
Like you're
Because
not the right energy for it or something,
Oh,
right?
I'm just not like, I'm a beer crowd girl. And it's not because I drink beer, which I do, but like every time I've done a vineyard or a wine, they spend too much money on the tickets and I'm not classy enough for them that I just am like I fail every time.
It is, and it isn't that it's going to be bad, but you know
No,
that
I just know I'm not going to be the best.
You'll do better in a beer thing, and and like I learned that if I'm on a show where most of the audience is like between the ages of 60 and 75, the comedians over the age of 50, they're just going to like them more than me. They're just going to. It's not going to say they're not going to like me, but they're going to like the one closer to their age for a variety of reasons.
Well, yeah, because of the inside comments on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just the understanding and the common language and probably the feeling of sitting there and being like 65 and gone through some, I don't know if I can swear, SHIT.
Yeah, 100%.
And being like, why am I listening to someone in their 30s talk at me for 15 minutes? I should be talking to you for 15 minutes. What do you know? I know everything, you know? Like,
that would be a fun show. Well, the audience just telling you what's wrong with your jokes. I would love that.
They usually do. It's just after the show.
Yeah, I know, but during. Have the balls to say in front of everybody.
They raise their hand.
Excuse me, that is actually inaccurate. It's just my mom. That's not what I said. I love it. So you grew up where?
Santa Barbara.
Nice. And what, did you go to like a regular school or, I don't know?
I went to a very nice school. It was a private school. It was like a super hippie, progressive, but like definitely wealthy school. I definitely had a very privileged upbringing, was very lucky to go there. The kids in my class, like, what's his name, who made Ghostbusters, and his son
Jason
made
Reitman.
Juno. Yeah, his daughter was in my class. Some of the original like investors in Google or like something were, you know, like tremendous wealth. But then the school was like, you know, not your button up like prep school. It was like,
yourself.
They were very much like, I mean, even the campus was so nice. It was like lots of little cottages, like on all these hills, lots of green space. Like you go in and out of little structures
That's nice.
rather than like sterile hallways, you know? And, you know, they would like, the summer trips would be like taking people to build houses and like third world country, you know, so they were like very, very, very liberal leaning as a school.
Did you feel like a popular kid growing up?
I was one of the popular kids, yeah. But there was also 48 people in my class.
Oh, you had a small class. I had that too. When I moved to America, it was
How
so
popular
small.
were you? You know, I was in the top one out of 48.
The three girls I went to school with liked me. Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I I mean? Like, and like, it wasn't, people were nice to each other, you know, like,
Which is nice.
like if the smart people were the cool people at my school.
That's cool.
Whereas that might be the opposite in other places. It was like the 3 guys who were like all destined for Yale and Stanford. Like they were the ones where all of us girls were like, oh, you know, like,
yeah.
What kind of stuff did you do? I ask this often. What was your like favorite grade, or what year in school throughout all your years was your favorite, or where you felt the most comfortable or excited? What was your favorite grade that you went through?
man, that's a really good question.
I'm
I
trying to
feel
think of
like
mine.
for different, it's interesting because as I was experiencing these 2 grades, I could tell you one of them was miserable, but looking back, I realized that it was like special and influential. Like I had a great time as a freshman because I entered high school and all the older boys thought I was cute. So me and my 2 besties were invited to all the senior class parties.
Yeah.
We're getting so wasted.
Enjoy
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like shopping on the weekends for our little outfits for the senior boys parties, and you know, we felt like on top of the world and everything felt like so carefree. And then going into my junior year or sophomore year, I don't remember, my parents got this like awful divorce. My dad had a secret second family we had discovered.
That's a lot.
And like everything changed. Like my drinking got like out of control. I got suspended at my junior prom. You know, looking back, I thought it was normal, but now I realize I was like rebelling because of what was going on at home.
Yeah.
You know, I drove drunk one night. Jeez. Luckily did not face any repercussions, but I look back, I'm like, oh, I could have fucking died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was blackout and I drove, and like, and then it was like, and then I got suspended, and it was weird because like suddenly I had this like weird film over me when I returned to school where everyone's like, it's like no one had been suspended. And like the whole time I had been in high school, like that was a huge deal. And they were like sending me to the school psychologist, which was like our office was like on a hill where everybody, that's the only thing up there. So if you're walking up there, everyone's like, guess who's going to the psychologist today?
Someone's got an issue.
Yeah. And I remember just feeling like I was weird now and I was different from everyone, you know? Like I had this mark on me, the Scarlet A or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of the teachers were like super cool to me. Like the college counselor, for example, I had gotten into NYU and then I got suspended from prom.
Feel this.
And technically speaking, like I got a thing. Sorry, NYU. I
didn't.
Well,
Yeah. Samesies.
What I was going to say is there's a thing that you sign when you say you're going that says if you get suspended or expelled,
take it away. Yeah.
they will rescind your acceptance to the college. And the college counselor was like, you know, technically I have to inform them of and I was like, oh my God, everything's over. And then he was like, one day I was like, so what happened? He goes, oh, I forgot to file the paperwork.
That's so nice. And did you go to NYU?
Yeah. And then I transferred to UCLA, which is how I wound up and it just was, New York didn't work for me. But you know, like there was
I almost went to NYU and then I just went on dance tour.
Yeah. I think it's like I realized, like looking back, like the way the teachers acted, they were like, this is not a big deal. Like they were all so cool, like checking on me, giving me super extra time.
They realized that it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, they were
probably like, this isn't her norm.
Yeah,
she's fine.
Yeah, what's
her
going on?
parents are going through some shit.
Like, yeah.
I'm sorry. If you find out you have a second family, you're going to be a little bit.
As grown-ups now, we would see a kid rebelling like that and being like, oh no, they need a hug more than they need the discipline, but they're not going to listen to us yet because they think they know it. And I did that in the 6th grade. When my mom got remarried, I did not like that situation. I remember telling my 6th grade homeroom and science teacher to shut the fuck up. Because I was that, to his credit, I love him, Mr. Clark, EJ Clark, we called him Superman. He knew immediately, like, he was upset when I said, shut the fuck up. He's like, yo, and then he kept me after, he's like, what's going on? Like, cause we were friends. He's like, what are you yelling at me for? What did I do? And he brought that same arm when he could have come down with a really heavy hand. Instead, he saw clearly you don't need me to yell at you. Something's up. What's going on? Because this is abnormal behavior. It's good. I'm glad you got.
It's interesting because it doesn't always work. Sometimes when you go with the hug approach instead of the stricter discipline, it doesn't always work. But the stricter disciplining never works.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like so you may as well give it a try where you like come in with like soft gloves.
Do you think with Teslas and shit like that, now that kids are driving cars that are automated, there won't be any more like let's say a kid lashes out and does gets drunk underage and then drives, the car's going to drive now, right?
Not exactly.
Like in 10 years from now. I don't mean today.
But like also, I think that teenagers
Or they're
going to
rebel differently.
We'll find stupid things to do no matter what we do. Like no matter what, we'll have, because it's self-destructive behavior. That's something I learned a lot of therapy is like we all have self-harming, self-destructive tendencies, and monitoring, engaging that and why we're doing them is like self-sabotage is the easiest thing. So whether it's yelling at a teacher, driving when you're not supposed to, whatever it is, we'll find a way to self-sabotage, even if it's that minute in the moment, like I'm going to make sure I pick a fight with this person because I want to self-sabotage the situation. So we'll do it no matter what.
Too.
All the time. Yeah. In fact, we started this conversation, to me, centering somewhat around our own self-sabotaging thoughts of comparing to other places that we could be, instead of just going like, oh no, we are in the thick of being in the city that has the industry we want. Like punching the clock every day going, is this the idea? No. Is this the idea? No. Is this the idea? No. And every time I think of the war of attrition, that every time we stick around for one more special, one more year, one more idea with whatever we're doing, we've already won.
I'm going to go home and run an hour after this episode.
And we're only getting closer. You never get further from it. The only time you lose is when you walk away. The rest of it is, no, it's like when seeing the comedians who get really mad or bitter over time, and you're like, if you just weren't bitter, you'd be fine. The bitterness is just your choice.
People legit tell me to stop going to the open mic that are, I would say, more successful than me in my mind and how I perceive them. And they're like, you got to stop. And I'm like, I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm. I also love
it. And I don't go to all of them. I just go to the ones that I like.
Yeah.
That's it. No, I don't go to the ones I don't like. If I don't like it, I'm not going.
Yeah. But I also can't imagine a reality in which I actively chose to not continue to get better as quickly as possible.
I think it's people thinking that you're wasting your time and you'll be thought of as an open micer. But that's your issue with your I don't know. It's a hard one.
It's projecting.
But it's also, is it wrong? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
The grass is always greener on the other side, kind of thing.
I mean, I will say I've never been someone who's good at like hanging at the right places with the right people or like whatever. I'm kind of just obsessed with like just getting up and just doing the work and just getting up and doing the work. And I also don't want to hang out with people that I don't want to hang out with. Like, I don't know if this is making sense.
No, that's right. That's also age.
I like I like the organic growth that comes from just like going to the mics. Like I like getting booked just because people have seen me and they're like me, you know, not because I like present some way.
Or you can bring 5 people.
Or yeah, I don't know.
Just because they know you'll be solid at the show.
Yeah. That not because I show up at the right parties or hang around the right.
I haven't been invited to whatever,
but
should we take a test?
Let's take a test.
Do you know that we take a test?
Yeah.
Okay, so we take a test. For those who were here last 2 weeks ago, we did pass that test. Okay, we got 2 wrong. We got
the one we took with Ryan.
Yeah.
So we took a test with Ryan. Ryan Pig.
Oh yeah.
My
and it didn't tell us if we. It didn't tell us if we did. It doesn't tell you. It just gives you. It doesn't tell you until after. But now I've logged in. We can. we should be able to know today.
We didn't get the answers last
time.
But
I told everyone I would tell them.
Oh, I see.
All right. Oh, this is a lot more reading.
So read the story. Choose the best answer to the question. Cole loves the circus.
Me too, Cole.
We ran away to join it. Uncle Rudy takes him to see the show every year. Why don't you come more often, Uncle Rudy? We'd have better jobs.
Yeah.
The clowns are so funny that Cole laughs until he cries.
Cute.
Uncle Rudy enjoys the man who jumps rope while standing on top of a galloping horse.
That's a weird space
yeah.
problem.
But they both agree that their favorite act is Leona, the lion tamer. She plays with the huge tigers and lions like they are her house pets. Cole and Uncle Rudy think Leona is very brave. Which sentence is true? Cole loves the circus.
Yes.
Cole loves the circus more than Uncle Rudy.
I don't know.
Cole wants to be a lion tamer when he grows up.
No.
Uncle Rudy's favorite act is the horse who jumps rope.
You know what? This fucking sucks. This is the kind of test that I would have failed at.
This is called the Connecticut Mastery Test. We had to take these standardized tests all the time. This is exactly like one of those questions of comprehension skills that I would take all the time.
This is the dumb shit. And you know what? They should put these at the end of each open mic. Kim did a joke about this.
Yeah.
Was it really about this, this, or this?
What skill are we developing by answering these things? That's
what I know.
Pure comprehension. pure
This
comprehension.
is, I think, are you smarter than a first grader? Like
Yes.
this is a
I
first.
see.
This is stupid for first.
So this
grade.
is so a first grader hears that and has to understand what's the truth, what's the underlying thing, what can I deduce from this?
I feel like I'm being tested on my listening skills. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
because
That's where I would have stopped paying attention halfway through class.
like if your spouse tells you a story and and like the thing about how he likes the man who jumps rope while standing on a horse, and then your husband be like, what did I say? And I'm like, the horse jumps rope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
like something happened in the listening queue and it got jumbled up.
Yep.
yeah.
What, Julia? What do you think the answer to this one is?
It's Cole loves the circus.
Yes, it is.
Loves the circus.
Cole loves the circus.
By the way, when you guys were talking about community, I started to tear up because you must both know you are two of my favorite people in
You're
the world.
so
You're like
sweet.
my close.
You're so sweet.
Those are like, I am wildly expressive and incredibly grateful for the community. Like, we ran away to join the circus, and these are the clowns that I get to know. Like, you guys are my favorite people in the world. I'm
Oh,
so
scoop the
fortunate
shit.
and grateful
you're so
because
sweet.
we ran away to join the circus. This is it. This is the community. Oh my God, this is better than I could have imagined.
It's a really good way to put it too, because we did. There's certainly a type of life that you simply accept you will not have if you go do this.
I spend more time, see you guys more, and talk to you more than my family. I am in many ways closer to you guys than my family, especially because you know me as a performer and a producer and a comedian in a way that they don't, which is to me essential. Like,
we
if
understand
you said, who am I?
the hardships behind it all. Yeah.
You guys read the things that I write more than they do, and that is a part of who I am in a way they don't know.
Well,
in
and
a
I mean,
sense.
also the emotion. I mean, I don't think there's anyone you feel closer to than people who understand your emotional ups and downs, like the nuances of them. And I know you're married to not a comedian,
But he does comedy.
but okay, so
Just
so
not
he's maybe
stand-up.
able to.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've never people are like, how are you married to a comedian? And I'm like, how are you not? Like, in the sense where but they don't know. I guess
I
you
met
don't.
my husband at an improv cage match. It was 164 teams.
gosh.
And I was a team of 3 and a team of 3, and it was my team versus his team. And my first interaction with my husband is me giving him a high five and then being like, fuck you. Because I did improv for a hot minute where I literally thought improv was you get drunk and you do what the audience tells you to. That's what I thought improv was. And it got
you
me
just
to the
explained it.
top.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, you want me to
You
be
don't
a
need
bear?
UCB classes. You got it.
I'll be a drunken bear.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was. That's what I think stand-up is now.
So Cole loves the circus almost as much
For
as
sure.
we do.
Just Cole loves the circus.
Yeah.
For the win. We won't know until the end.
Choose the word that best completes the sentence. Many blank ride on the bus to go to the fair. Many purple, many planet, many people, many planned. Kim, what should we think this one is?
I think it's going to be Planned Parenthood. No, people. It's people.
Many
it can't be
people.
planned because
Yeah.
all of them are dead.
It's definitely people, but
Yeah.
I do really.
I also like purple as an
I
option.
like
like-
the idea of it being many purple.
I like how little they think of
First
first
graders.
graders.
They're like,
This is not what they think of first graders. This is the trouble first graders have. You need to test them on this before we give them anything else.
let's go people.
I think we are not used to dealing with kids who are not nearly
Read
as
the
sharp. as we
problem
want them to
and
be.
choose the number sentence that best solves the problem. If the correct answer is none of the choices, choose D. Not here.
Okay. So Simon has 4 I have a pen, I have an apple, put them together, apple pen. No. Simon has 4 pens. Beth has 3 more pens than Simon.
Oh, snap.
Abby has 2 more pens than Beth. How many pens does Abby have?
9.
My fingers are showing it.
So it would be the first one. 4 plus 3 plus 2. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2.
It's 9.
Yeah. Choose the word or words that best fit in the sentence. Ben blank his books to school. Ben take, Ben taked, Ben took, Ben none of the above his books to school.
Ben left his books at home, bitch. Ben quit school.
But in theory, we don't know. We don't
Ben
know the whole
didn't take
story.
a right. Yeah.
Ben,
There's no books anymore. It's just an iPad. What are you talking
Maybe
about?
I'm a smart first grader, and I'm like, well,
None of the above, and you fill in your own words.
Yeah.
Ben
Ben
quit.
actually skipped school. He dropped his
Ben
books
burned
off.
his books to school.
Yeah. Ben took his
Correct.
books to school.
But what else
But I
could
love
we
the idea
say?
of taked.
yeah.
I probably
Ben
would have
brought
done
his
that
books
first
to
I
school.
grade.
literally said "tooken" recently, and I was like,
It happens. Whatever.
Yeah. You get it. You understand what I'm saying.
We also learned in our marriage that I don't know most phrases. Like every phrase I use, I'm like one word off. And my husband's like, has this always been happening? We also were sniffing a gas leak we didn't know about for maybe 10 days. Who knows? I don't know. I've gotten where I am at this point in life.
You know,
I thought it was part of a bit.
it's nice not to know everything.
Read the question, choose the best answer. Which word comes first in alphabetical order? Why, Hugh, zipper, top.
This is
A,
actually
B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y.
You do kind of have to go through the alphabet for a second to know, don't you?
Top.
Were you guys one of those kids who could say the alphabet backwards?
No.
I fucking
But
hated
I would
those
be able to
kids.
answer that without having to say the alphabet.
No, so would I, but I just double checking my work
Yeah,
out loud.
I like that.
I do feel like if you could say the alphabet backward, that like almost has to be some sort of like being on the spectrum or
No,
something.
it's just memorizing. It's just a kid
It
who
is?
you want to punch in the face.
Everything we do is part of the spectrum in one way or another,
The
right?
internet started diagnosing me with autism because
Yeah.
I have hearing stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny. It was like put up a video about my insomnia where I was like, how come a door slamming 8 blocks away will wake me from a dead sleep, but I can't hear my friend in a bar right next to me.
Fair.
I just thought it was, it's
That's
annoying.
a very honest thing.
Why is my hearing so
Yeah.
good when I don't want it to be? And then there's like 80 people that are like, it's autism? You have autism. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's like one of those videos where like, do you have this and
Yeah.
this and this? Then you have ADD.
Yeah. They were very kind about it. They would give me like a whole description of why they know this or this. Like they weren't like
Yeah.
trying to be bullying me or something, but I was like, this is not the input I was looking for on this video.
Just like and subscribe. Move on.
Read the sentence, look at the underlined word to see which one is spelled the wrong way.
Oh, fuck.
Choose the one is not spelled correctly. All the words are spelled correctly. Choose D. So, I do not know his last name. I think they're all
Oh, it's the
they're
no
all
is the
spelled
no,
correctly.
right?
It's no mistake.
Yeah. No mistake.
So out of
no
all
mistake.
those, of all those words, I do not know his
and
last name.
that's the right no. As a first grader, I would have been crying at that no. Also, the word no, mistake, that's not okay. You can't have no and no mistake.
That's
you got
fine.
no twice. Fuck you.
What if that answer was KNOW mistake? And
Then
no
I would have been
mistake?
like,
Then you'd be like, aha.
That's a good question.
Aha.
You should write these tests.
Oh, I should start writing. Are you smarter than a first grade test?
Somebody told me to write a book. This week, and they were telling me I should write a book on how to be likable, and I laughed so hard. I was like, "Me? That's not how to be likable from a bitch? Maybe is a book I could write." But like,
I also feel like
they were talking about on stage likability,
Oh,
and I
on
was
stage?
like, "Yeah, not necessarily in life, but I don't know. I think it's funny,
to write a book on that in life, you would almost have to be such a sociopath.
right?
Because your perspective has to be, how do I control
Everyone thinks I'm great.
how others perceive me,
Yeah.
rather than how do I behave in the way that's like genuine to me in the moment.
It's also an ego issue.
Yeah,
Like just
like,
to
to want
self-identify
everyone.
yourself to be like, oh, everybody loves me.
Yeah.
Somebody hates you. Everybody hates everybody. It's fine. It's true. Just don't look at it. It's fine. You hate yourself sometimes, right? Like everyone hates somebody at some
I
point.
don't hate myself very often.
No,
I do
not
get
often, but
frustrated.
it happens.
I do have IBS and insomnia. I hate my body sometimes, but that's separate from me.
Okay. I like that.
Solve the problem and choose the correct answer. If the correct answer is not one of the choices, choose not here. The question, 16 minus 9. We know the answer.
Not
to
here.
this. Not here?
I'm lying.
Oh. I got nervous. I was like, did the ADD kick in? Uh-oh. 3, 7, 13, not here. 7.
7.
So first graders are not nearly as smart as we thought. That's what we're saying. 16 minus 9, somebody could have gotten that
I'll
wrong.
tell you, that first comprehension one I thought was like,
Really stupid and hard.
it was intense.
Yeah.
And then the rest have been just
Yeah.
softballs.
What symbol makes the sentence true? 36 blank 3 equals 33. So is it plus or minus?
Oh, I see. Minus, yes.
Yeah, 36 minus 3 equals 33.
Fuck you, first grade.
How many sides does a triangle have?
4. I'm kidding.
I know. You got
I actually
me.
had a minute.
It
there
also
where I
says
was like,
rectangle.
which one's the triangle?
It says how many sides. It says how many times does a rectangle have?
It says
What?
rectangle.
You
Oh,
said
man,
triangle. Remember last time
that's
I
good.
said that wrong?
That's good. It does say rectangle.
So it's not 3. It's 4.
So what? I was just curious. How many sides does this triangle have? I'm just making conversation.
But that's
he's
why
trying
we
to
would have got it
throw
wrong
off
in
our
school. It's
stats.
just fully just filling in the blanks with your own imagination.
Yeah.
Choose the best answer for the question. The United States is a blank. City, country, continent, river.
River. It's a river. It is a river.
Also, did I read it right this time?
It is a flat river.
Flat river. A country.
River.
Do it. You want to read this one?
Choose the best answer for the question. An example of a fraction. Is that say
Of
fraction?
friction.
Oh, see how I just filled in things?
Yeah.
Friction is rubbing your hands together, light shining through the window. What a tragic moment that is. When the shadow is formed, when a paperclip touches
When
a
a
magnet.
shadow is formed, that feels like so profound.
That is profound.
I'm like, maybe that is a friction.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are inspiring.
Emotional or social friction.
Yeah.
When you were in someone's shadow and you feel a sense of friction.
Yeah, and when your shadow's bigger than you and you're like, what's up?
Yeah.
Rubbing your hands together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just your hands, Timmy, nothing else.
My bedroom was such a blank that I stayed inside to clean it up.
We're supposed to fill in the blank.
Yeah. Male, might, meat, mess. My bedroom was such a meat that I stayed inside to clean it up.
I like meat.
Yeah.
I like meat a lot too, but I know it's mess.
Yeah, why are they picking the same letter for all of them? They should pick other words that are similar.
Choose the word that best completes the sentence. What is your blank flavor of ice cream? What is your
Foolish.
latest?
Flatest? Is that even a word?
Nope, they messed up their own test. Foolish, fantastic favorite. What is your fantastic flavor of ice cream?
is a
completely
great
valid
sentence.
I was gonna
sentence.
say, if you are at an ice cream shop and you're asking like the person who works there for their input, what's your fantastic flavor of ice cream?
Yeah.
Also, if someone
It
asked
is.
me as a kid, what's your fantastic flavor? I would want to purchase more. Then what's your favorite flavor? If you said fantastic, now we're in imagination land. Now this shit's getting colors. Like,
This is a Mad Men moment
You could
where
be making up flavors
Yeah.
that don't exist.
yeah, this is when it's like
you
close
just
your eyes.
Don Drapered ice cream. You're like, everyone has a favorite, but who has a fantastic? Fantastic
Exactly.
inspires something
Yes.
deep in the soul.
It does.
You can almost
Kodak.
see how there's some.
It's
first
favorite
graders
if we
still-
want to be right, but it's
Yeah.
fantastic if we want to be right.
It's fantastic.
Dude, no, select fantastic. We're going against the grain on this. We know
Yeah.
know
No,
what they
you're
want
gonna
from us,
take our score
but this is our
down.
artistic expression. We
Okay.
know what they want from us, but we know what we want to tell them it is.
Okay, do favorite.
Fantastic.
Do favorite, because
What
both
is
of
your
Julie and I want to be
fantastic?
right.
We want to be correct.
Julie and I want to win.
No, be your artistic selves. You guys are so incredible.
I'll post a video about fantastic later.
There you go.
I literally was rocking back and forth. Please
You're
don't
like,
do
"Put
that.
the right
Please don't.
answer."
Literally trying to calm my nerves.
Here, read this one. Maybe that'll help.
Says, read the sentence. Think of a word that makes sense in the blank. I thought it said bank for a second there. Mark the choice that fits the meaning of the sentence and is spelled correctly. I saw blank cat. I saw bulk cat, black cat, ball cat, block cat. That's a lot of B and L's.
Yeah.
So this is really for people who have dyslexia, which is me, and this is why these tests are stressing
Does
me out.
bulk mean something?
A fat
You can
cat.
bulk.
You can be a
You
bulky
can bulk
cat.
it.
What does it say?
No,
bulky?
that'd be bulk.
Not
I thought
bulky cat,
bulky
but like
cat.
you can bulk at something.
Oh,
Bulk?
to
A bulk.
balk. No,
Oh,
that's
like as
balk.
in like you
Bulk.
don't like it?
But
or
that's how
whatever?
I believe
It's
it's
like a
spelled.
cat.
Bulk.
Like
I balked
Balk
at that.
at that. Oh, I
I
see.
saw a ball cat. That could be a thing I don't know about yet.
That could just
Yeah.
be go
Like a
little
new hat?
Fat cat
Yeah.
though.
I saw a ball cat.
A ball cat?
Yeah, like a new kind of hat with a cat on it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm in fantastic land. Okay.
I like black. I saw a black cat.
Yeah, let's go black if we
Well,
want to win.
Solve the problem and choose the correct answer. 5 plus 7
Yikes.
equals.
12.
Oh, no!
It's 12. It's 12.
Yeah. This one, I like the ease of this. This is a nice early morning.
You can keep my email. Yeah, just hit next. I want to know if we got it. We got it. We won.
Congratulations.
I just
You
wanna
are
know.
smarter than a first
Yeah, I know, but
grader.
we'll scroll down and tell us if we like. Really, oh no, will you click full report? Sorry, I just want to know if we actually got everything right. Did we get anything wrong? 100%. The average first grader gets 90%. So they were only if we had gotten that one question wrong, we would have been an average first grader.
Yeah. Which I have
If
to
we had
be
gotten
honest,
2 wrong, we would have been
wonder
not
which
smarter than a first
I think
grader.
I'm an average first grader. I don't
you would have gotten that one wrong?
I think I'm an average first grader.
Which one do they struggle with the most? Seems
Probably
like
the
they all
first
do.
one.
Yeah, that was a.
First grade is the
that's
the
our
grade that
answers.
kind of
Yeah.
messed me up for school. So I think I told you this story.
yeah.
But in kindergarten, during nap time, I would nap, but our kindergarten teacher would give us first grade math work to do for the couple of us who didn't sleep. So we'd just do like 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 3 = No, we loved it. This was like a reward. We were like, oh yeah, this will keep us busy. We just stay quiet. We do this. And in first grade, I was like, I really liked that. If I do all my first grade homework, can I get second grade homework? And the teacher was like, sure. So I did all that first grade homework. And she's like, okay, cool. Just keep doing that. And I'm not gonna. She reneged on the promise, and I was like, oh, so school is bullshit. Fine, I'm done. It ruined me. It ruined me for school. I would have been, if she had given me that, I'd have been a politician or a lawyer because I would have bought into the system. Instead, this is what you got.
And
You can thank Mrs. Kaplan for lying to me.
Have you talked to a therapist about this?
I don't need to. I know what it is.
Great.
And that's my distrust of authority, which gives me that point of view of like, oh, nobody knows what they're talking about.
One person ruined it.
You self-therapize?
Yeah.
Sometimes I
self-therapize too. I started going to the school therapist in the second grade. So I've been in and out of therapy since the second grade. This is a lot of practice.
You told that therapist what the first grade teacher did.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you for joining us. And
Yes.
thank you for being smarter than a first grader.
Where should we follow you, Julia?
Creepy. In real life, though. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Online.
On Instagram at Julia Austin Was Taken.
Or at Ross.
Or you can
Just go
find
to a
me at
Ross.
a Ross. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to watch those videos.
They're all of Julia does to camera videos.
And I'm going to like them. I'm not
as
just
she's
going to
getting
watch
ready. The Ross Dress for Less videos. Some of the funniest videos and content. As I call them, all of them are TV shows.
Anything
we post,
TV
it's TV shows. Anything we post on Instagram or TikTok, that's the TV show because that's how people are watching TV at the end of the day.
I love that.
It's the same thing. That's one of my favorite. You are one of my favorite TV shows.
You are.
I will say this. I'll never forget when I was speaking to, I don't know, like a nice customer service person at AT&T or Spectrum or something, and they're waiting for their system to load. And they asked me what I do. And I said, well, I do stand up. And he's like, a guy who's like 64. He goes, do you post your stuff to YouTube Shorts? You should post stuff to YouTube Shorts. I'm like, how do you know more about this than I
do? They're keeping it up. I like it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, school's out. Ding.